Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie Violet Vixen Commissaro, and I'm here with my podcaster in crime, Jesse.
Hi guys, I'm back with what is it? Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
I missed you so much.
I know, I missed you too. I'm happy to be back with my podcaster in crime and my lovely team. We love you, Dennis. And to be talking to some amazing bands. So I'm just like very excited to be back. Sick or not, I'm happy to be back.
So tonight we're diving into the raw energy of Kings and Constables with hooks that hit like a revolution and melodies that linger like royal decree. This band isn't just making music, they're building a legacy. Whether you're a fan of hard-hitting riffs or lyrics that make you think, Kings and Constables are here to rule your playlist. Get ready to bow down or rise up. Please welcome Kings and Constables.
Hey guys, that was quite the intro.
Yeah, that was a great intro. We need you to do all of our shows from now on.
Great.
Yeah.
No problem. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Great.
Yeah, we're good.
Happy to be here.
This is like the perfect cap to a Monday, I think. I guess a Wednesday, whenever this is out.
We're so excited to be back because we were on a little bit of a hiatus between Jesse was having some health things and just going around to the different shows and summer break starting with my son. We're as excited to be here as you are.
It's been a busy start to summer for all of us.
Yeah, we're super happy to be doing this. So thank you.
It's been fun though. Like I mean, the rain has been a little bit insane.
I wish for a little bit more summer weather. It's been a lot of rain here and a lot of not vibes. I'm trying to have beach vibes. And I'm over here like it's giving a little fall into winter skies. So
We don't get good weather anymore. It just doesn't exist. I'm
trying to get my tropical on. I'm trying to go swimming. You know?
It's like roulette. Like, let's spin the wheel and find out. Like, is it going to be winter today? Is it going to be spring? Is it going to be
for real? It switches on a day-to-day basis. There's no consistency whatsoever.
That being said, though, there's something about when it is cold and rainy in the summertime specifically that kind of gives you like a free pass to stay inside and do nothing. So like I do kind of enjoy it from like a laziness, point.
Definitely.
But should probably be doing better things
yeah.
at time.
It makes for like better for like cozying up on the couch with like that furry blanket, like movie watching, but not for concerts.
Yeah.
I mean,
John. Cozying up next to John.
I mean, Saturday I went to the Road to Warped Tour up in Scranton, and man, it was pouring. I had my umbrella like standing out there doing my like ska dancing.
Did they play the whole thing? Because I know like Bonnaroo got shut down because of the weather.
All the ones that I was only there Saturday. All the ones that I like saw play, there were multiple stages going, so I didn't get to see everyone, but the stages that I saw, it seemed like everyone ran through.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
It seemed like it was like Mother Nature was like on the side of the Warped Tour, because it was like right when like the people would actually hit the stage to perform, it would like calm for a minute. And then like later on in their performance, it would start raining a little harder. But I felt like it was giving them at least like 20 minutes of light misting.
It added to the dramatic effect, though. It's part of the performance.
Warped Tour being back in general means that the world is healing, I think. So it makes sense for me that the weather would hold. What's actually cool is we have a couple of friends actually that were on both Warped Tour and Road to Warped Tour.
Okay.
So shout out Roderick for being on Road to Warped Tour. They're phenomenal. Check them out 100%. Shout out Ring Pop for being on actual Warped Tour in DC. That's crazy. Last time I saw them, they were literally playing a house in Glassboro, New Jersey, and now they're on like that. That's wild. So it's cool. It's cool to like have that
people.
back and like have
I
other
loved
people
it.
feel close.
It
So,
really, Josh really like nailed that feel of what the Warped Tour was. It was all different kinds of music. Like you didn't know all the bands. You got to know them by going to the show. Like I remember every year I'd be like, I'm going to see this one, and then by the end of it I'd be like, oh my god, like this one was awesome.
And yeah,
that discovery is always rewarding. Like finding out something new when you're looking for a certain type of music. It might be something you're not even looking for in the beginning. Yeah.
So we got to hear all about you guys. How did you guys come together, and how did the band get started?
We got started out of a different band, if that makes sense. So we have a friend. He went up to Berkeley. He's doing like the singer-songwriter thing. When he's back for the summer, he's trying to put together some shows and stuff like that. So we kind of got compiled together through him, and then we sort of discovered like a shared interest in a specific type of music, and then we kind of formed out of that. The funny thing is actually why you're still here is because we had there was a that sounded really harsh. Well, do you want to take?
You mean how I got involved?
Yeah, how do you get involved with Kyle?
They had another drummer who just couldn't make it, and then someone had approached me and were like, "Hey, can you fill in for a rehearsal?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I can fill in for a rehearsal. I have time for that." And then so I like crammed all the songs in the night, and then I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, I can make up whatever I want. I'm just filling in. So I got the basic gist, made up the rest, and then Kyle came up to me after the practice and he goes, "Hey man, thanks so much for joining. Thanks for playing and all this." Like, and he just was, I'm playing the show. I'm here, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Whatever. So.
Yeah, so it was probably we played with Kyle, who's our friend for context. Probably 2 years ish. Probably.
Yeah,
we did for a bit, and then Aiden would fill in when he could, because he's on the keys, and you can do so much with that just to fill out space and stuff. So, it kind of just people come together, and then Evan, who's sitting quietly here, we played a show at the Wellmont in February. Which was huge. We opened for Emo Night Karaoke.
And that's where we met Roger.
Yeah, that's a whole episode in and of itself, I think, just how that all came together.
They get wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like we went to a bar and they happened to be playing there, and then my ex-girlfriend's talking to the merch person, and the merch person's like, "Oh yeah, they lost their opener," and it was a whole somehow we got involved in that, and we're super grateful for it. Either way, we got
that person did not show up.
Exactly. Thing is that we lost our guitarist like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4-ish before that. It was about you came in 2-ish weeks. Yeah. So we're like, John, do you happen to know any like sick guitar players that can like cram all the songs and make them better? And he's like, actually, yeah.
So John reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Let's do it. And we just solidified the set, and there were a lot of late rehearsals that ran for very long, and it was crunch time, so we just had to bring it on home, and I think we did a really good job at Wellmont, and it was fun, high pressure, big crowd, sounded great.
First show with us too.
Yeah,
it was just incredible at being able to jump in there.
Yeah, no, it's the two of them, honestly, they're both to glaze you to your faces. They're great musicians. Yeah, it's like
quite the.
So when was that initial show?
The initial with Evan.
Yeah,
that was back in February
22nd.
Yeah, 22nd.
So these guys are on it with booking gigs and stuff. Like, I feel like we've been playing a decent amount.
We've been playing a decent amount. The thing is that most of them have actually come out of that show too. Where
It's been busy.
Connections, and you play one, you get a couple more from that, and you go from there. I'm really happy with like the state of things now, with everyone really being able to contribute, like everything, like a lot of our songs like didn't, to me at least, sound like they sounded in my head prior to Evan coming in and playing all of his lead stuff over them and really filling it out in that way. So
it's everything is just getting elevated. Oh my god, that's not even English. Elevated to the standard that we hold for ourselves right now. So yeah, I'm excited.
And you guys have a really clear idea of what you're looking for, so that makes my job a lot easier and a lot more just quick to materialize. Because I'll throw a bunch of ideas at you, and you're like, nope, not that, and then you can hum stuff, sing stuff, and you have a very clear picture already formed.
It's some of that, yeah, but then there's enough room for it. It's like, all right, do something pentatonic-ish here, and it's like you take that and you run with it.
Shimmer.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have like a process for songwriting? Like, do you usually start with lyrics, or do you do it differently each time?
You have to start, and maybe somebody will fight me. I don't think so. I think it's impossible to start with lyrics and then try to put music to those lyrics.
I'm gonna fight you now.
I don't know. I feel like
it's like trying to put a square puzzle piece in like a star-shaped, block.
It's like trying to do a puzzle with no picture on the thing. It's like you don't. I feel like if you just have lyrics without music, then they're just words, right? So for me, at least, most of the songs that we've had, like in our set list and our kind of, I guess you could say, live discography at this point, because unreleased stuff. It's a lot of stuff that like I had written previously, or we had collaborated a little bit on, but the idea was like maybe 80% of the way there already. So for me, at least, it all starts on like acoustic guitar, mainly. It's just the easiest thing to grab whenever inspiration happens to strike. The fun thing about that too is that means like writing it all on acoustic.
So what would you say has been the most fun song to kind of create?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Are you asking, or
was that you might have cut out there? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What would you say has been the funnest song for you to create so far?
Probably our first single that we released, R.I.P. George Cooper, because I feel like that had the most collaboration between everybody.
Definitely.
Can we talk about that, because I have to hear like what inspired that song?
Yeah.
What did
inspire that song?
Well, Anakin's really shaken up by the death of George Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper's dad. I think when it first started, it was you and Bryant. Sadly, Bryant couldn't be here today. It's his birthday, so
just cut to like a dark like room. Just put the word Bryant in there.
Yeah, that's what
we could send you a picture of Brian also.
I just Photoshop him in.
Yeah, you should have sent us that from the beginning. We could have photoshopped them on the side.
Just like floating.
Yeah, I think peeking in on the side of the box.
Yeah,
it's right here.
Yeah,
like an MS Paint drawing of him.
MS Paint.
Yeah, just put a little stick figure on the bottom. Anyway,
you guys had the initial idea just to have a song called R.I.P. George Cooper, right?
Yeah, the fun thing about writing in like our specific genre is that the names of the songs are like most of the time just something nonsensical. So you can kind of have fun with it. So I don't remember. We were probably supposed to be rehearsing or doing something actually productive. And we're like, oh, we should have a song called R.I.P. George Cooper. And then from there, it kind of just was like, oh, okay.
The progression though, because you had there's like a whole like breakdown moshing section of the song, and I remember you were playing that at the house, but then I was just doodling around on the keys, and I had been listening to a lot of Hans Zimmer for some reason.
Okay.
I was listening to a lot of Hans Zimmer.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah. I was listening.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on right now. If you ever need to sleep, just listen to Blue Planet 2. That entire soundtrack is really beautiful. Great documentary too. I was listening to that and Blue Planet 2,
which is funny. You were listening to that. I was watching Blue Planet 2 last week.
Were you really?
And it's amazing.
It's a great.
The music's amazing.
There's a whole. I don't even know. I think it's with the
great minds think alike.
Yeah. There's this whole
First EP is going to be called Blue Planet 2.
Blue Planet 2.
Shout out to Hans.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's this one track that I really like. It's just chord progression. So I was just playing around with that, and I tweaked it a little bit, and then I started playing that a little bit faster over something that he was playing, and then I think he heard it, and then it's not really a cohesive story, but we just kind of workshopped it from there. But it came from Blue Planet.
Yeah, it very much came from
Hans Zimmer and Blue Planet.
Sure. It was a lot of like small little micro ideas that then we all sort of mashed together for that one.
We had a big writing day.
The through line for that song is we knew that like we wrote the song before we actually had our first show, I think. So we wanted a song knowing that we're going to play like a basement, we're going to play somewhere where there's push pits and there's moshing and stuff like that. We wanted to write a song kind of for that, if that makes sense. So the whole breakdown section in there is written with the intention of like, here you go, do it here. This is your part. Like, you know,
2-step, punch somebody.
yeah, just as you know, that's sort of the intention behind that. And then all of like the things that me and John had talked about too initially too is like big chorus that really takes you somewhere new and elevates you. That way it's dynamically interesting and things like that. You know, I mean, that's really just a lot of ideas swirling really together for that one.
So how many shows had you done prior to the show at Artie's?
At Artie's.
That was the last one we did.
That was the last one we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Prior to that, maybe 20-ish?
20-ish.
20-ish, probably. We haven't yet celebrated 1 year of existing. So I think January.
When is that? When do we celebrate that?
When do we celebrate that?
Probably like end of
July. July-ish, June-ish.
When do
Oh, it's
you
coming up.
when do you
is
say
it-
the start is? Like
yeah.
when the Instagram was made or when the first show was?
That's a good point. That's
Like what is the kickoff?
I think it's up to you guys. Like
Yeah,
you
what
guys
is-
get to kind of.
I always say
determine.
when the name, because you know how many people does it take to come up with a band name? Like for my band, we had to like sit in a circle. Everybody brings their list. You go through them, and then it's like, no.
We
not
went
that
through
one.
not many because it was sort of just like, hey, what about this? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody was just
sounded-
agreeable.
It's kind of just yeah.
You know how uncommon that is? I know people who have been in a band for 6 months and they haven't played a show yet because people can't pick a name.
It's
That's
yeah.
common.
If people ask like, why did you pick that? I'm like, I thought it sounded good.
We are Kings and
That's
Constables,
really
thank you, good night.
yeah. That's really
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that works.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
sounds good, like on the mouth, I guess.
I just have to say, I had so much fun with the intro because you can like do so many puns
Yeah.
off of.
I heard you
name.
taking all your chances with that one. You're like really like in there. I was like, that's good. That's
You got
good.
everything in there. I mean, it was you really.
I
Like,
had fun with that one.
how much, like, how often do you get to have fun with the intro, like that, like make puns? This is
It
Brian.
really depends on the name. It depends on how serious. Like I definitely can have more fun with like free spirited bands.
Yeah.
Like the like artists and the musicians that are like real serious. Like I'm always afraid to kind of have fun with the intro because I'm like,
You don't want to insult them. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know if they're gonna take it the same way I'm throwing it out there, like whatever. But
You're not gonna give like a black metal artist the same kind of intro. You're gonna be like, you know.
Gotcha.
plus I have to like some of them like with some of the metal, and I was just talking about this with someone earlier. Like metal's got so many genres now that it's hard for me sometimes to write an intro because I'm like, are they gonna think this is corny? Like, is this like hardcore enough for their intro?
That's like an epidemic though. Like that I feel for all genres. There are so many like small genres within
Micro genres.
Yeah, like the micro genres. Like I don't even know what to call ourselves at this point because we would say that we're this, but then another person would say, no, you're
Okay, if you each get three words to describe your band, what would they
What
be?
would it be?
oh god.
Oh, Who wants to start with that?
I feel like John has some good adjectives.
Yeah.
On his mind.
Do I? I honestly was still on the band name thing. I was
Like,
like,
what in your pocket that you were like, that was a good one. We should have cooked with that. Like,
no. I was on the fact that you brought up. You sit on not having a name for too long, and then someone's just out there suggesting tangerine monkey cake, and you're like, no, it
that's what
can't
happened
be
with
that.
Fall Out Boy.
And,
That's
yeah,
what happened with Fall Out Boy. They used Fall Out Boy as they didn't have a band name yet. So, and they already had their first show booked, and one of the members was a huge Simpsons fan. So he was like, we'll just call ourselves Fall Out Boy for one show, and then we'll come up with an actual band name. So they came up with their actual band name at their next show, and it was like a Fall Out Boy song. It was really long, and it was like one of their song titles, like da 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 da. And they said, "Hey, we're da 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 da," and somebody in the crowd went, "Fuck that! You're Fall Out Boy," and that's how that happened.
There you go.
Not
After that, you
good.
can't go back.
You
Like
can't
that's
come back, yeah.
Never mind, we're Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Hey.
I do have to say that name that you just threw out there, was that off the top of your head? Tangerine, what was it?
Monkey.
the monkey cake. Yeah,
Write that down.
I guess.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
I'd like that
legit
for a
name.
I want a day just inside of John's mind, just to know what
Well-
goes on. Just to know.
Same.
Well, he just came up with that pretty quickly, and like that's a pretty
Yeah.
legit name for
Yeah.
I feel like nostalgic is probably a word that I would use to describe some of the
Yeah.
music.
definitely.
For Tangerine Monkey Cake or for Kings and Constables?
For Kings and Constables.
Okay.
No, Tangerine Monkey Cake's very future, reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think nostalgic.
Yeah.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic is a good word. Yeah, nostalgic. I want to say, like, I feel like at least on the bills that we've been on recently too, like it's sort of like I don't know. I feel like we're the levity sometimes, where it's just like, all right, guys, we'll just have some fun now.
Playing with
Let's
It's
you
like
know,
a comedic relief.
Yeah.
But that sounds
it sounds bad, but
like,
it's sort of like
it's lighthearted.
lighthearted
in a
is
way.
probably lighthearted is a good. What there's probably a better like synonym for lighthearted.
fun.
Jubilant. Kind of, yeah.
Jubilee.
Yeah,
You have a thesaurus on you?
yeah.
Ecstatic.
Anything that sounds like you could put our stuff over a montage of like alarm clock rings and it's like I'm late for school and then like you're brushing your teeth in the shower and like you skateboard after the bus, like that type stuff.
There's some heavier moments in that. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like skateboard montage maybe.
Definitely.
Kickflip or two.
Yeah.
Just kickflip is
kickflip. That's a good word.
That's the
Nostalgic,
word. That's the words, yeah.
Kickflip.
Very.
I love that kickflip.
Can any of us skate? I can't skate.
I tried skating.
I could ollie.
Dear guy.
Yeah.
Bored. I'm so bored. I don't like skating because I don't want to fall.
Yes.
I don't want to fall.
I like long walks on the beach.
I like long walks on the beach.
How many words is that?
That was two.
Well, I was describing you as Y2K familiar with a new age twist.
I like that.
That's about it.
I like
I
that.
think
That
you
sounds
said
a
that a
lot
lot
like
better than we did.
yeah.
Refreshing.
Every person that
Refreshing,
basically
maybe?
listened to you was like, I feel that description.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like refreshing. Not in the sense it's like it's something better, but it's something like, when you're on a bill with, a lot of heavier people, which are all great. Like we were playing with some really, really talented. Like
Uncured was
yeah,
awesome.
they're great. Shout out Uncured too. Because they need our shout out.
Yeah, they.
I love meeting them in person because then you can ask them what their band name actually says. Because otherwise,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
Oh, yeah,
impossible.
But like, yeah, refreshing in the sense that it's like, let's stop punching each other in the face for a minute and have some fun. Like, I think,
Yeah.
it's- in terms of like, people at show, yeah. So
So,
That's-
who would you say
that took us.
are each of your personal influences, and who would you say would be like a collective influence on the band?
Collective is interesting.
Who do we want to start with? I mean, I could.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean,
I
go
can-
yeah.
John.
Personal life or personal instrument.
That
The band,
right?
For the band.
that one that is I like to think of that one that is basically on every like iPod you've ever had or every playlist that you make. Like it always lands in the mix.
Oh, like a band.
Yeah.
For the band.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or drummer.
Yeah.
Drummer.
Well, yeah. So I always listened to a lot of like the newer progressive metal. So I listened to Periphery a lot, Tesseract.
Okay.
I listened to a lot of them.
Like
So,
Between the Buried and Me kind of stuff.
yeah, getting there. So I would say I was indirectly influenced by them. I wouldn't say I necessarily like honed in on the drums, but just listening to it a lot. Like they always made the playlist, they always made that. So that would be something. Just any of those like drummers.
Gent-esque, technical kind of bands.
Yeah. I don't necessarily play like that, which is interesting. I grew up in church, so I ended up playing like church music. So which is very based on like you're holding the groove. You're not doing anything that's really going to throw anyone off necessarily.
There's no blast beats.
Yeah, there's no blast beats, but
there's a surprising overlap though. Like in a lot of like the way that stuff builds and things, like there's more overlap than you'd think.
The dynamics are a huge thing. So, listening to the technical, playing the dynamics and stuff like that a lot. That's probably the biggest influences.
Evan, we're just gonna go down the line.
Okay, cool. I'd say Jeff Buckley is probably favorite artist of all time. Led Zeppelin is a huge influence. Jimmy Page's playing is always really important. Stevie Ray Vaughan is a huge influence.
Incredible.
For me. Jimi Hendrix. I love Pat Metheny. I think he's phenomenal. Radiohead is a big one.
I love these influences. We're hearing some new ones I haven't heard in a while.
Bear is a huge one for me. McGee is incredible. Jacob Collier is another big one. John Mayer, another big one. I'm trying to think. Who else? Kendrick Lamar, particularly To Pimp a Butterfly, I think is
one of my son's favorites.
Awesome album. Just the Beatles, obviously, just like classic rock, primarily Pink Floyd, psychedelic rock is like, and the blues are like kind of the go-to things for me. And
we always ask when someone says the Beatles or Nirvana, what?
I love Nirvana also. I mean, Nirvana was
what Beatles song really hits for you?
Or like what era?
Yeah.
I think Revolver is the best Beatles album. I think there are no skips on that album. But like there's work with like Tomorrow Never Knows is like really cool, and like the trippier stuff like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds or Strawberry Fields or Day in the Life, like that's all timeless hits. Eleanor Rigby, like all that stuff is phenomenal. And then like Nirvana, like I love their compilation album. I just like had that on rinse in like sophomore year of high school. So like About a Girl, obviously like Come As You Are, just like the big hits. Territorial Pistons.
They bring back so many good memories.
Yeah. Anytime I hear them, they just comes rushing back. It's funny because whenever I think of that time period, I think of like all the songs I was just listening to one after the other from the iTunes store. So there was like Moving Pictures by Rush was also in there. And
the spectrum of like all the different bands as we already have gone down, like already started. I'm like so excited. Just like we're very few people in, so I'm like, oh my god, like such a melding pot.
It's interesting too, like in all of like the Pink Floyd and all the psychedelic stuff too. Like a lot of what you're doing and a lot of the stuff is like filling space with like big swells and things. You know what I mean? So it's like it's real interesting how it actually like, because obviously like I have influences from everything too, and it's like how do you like what actually gets manifested into? Like, it's like interesting that's what comes through, sort of.
Yeah, and I mean when I'm trying to come up with something for the tunes, I'm not thinking like, oh, like what would this particular artist do? It's more just a culminative kind of, I guess.
It was Evan Byrne. It's what makes. Yeah, I mean,
it's just the aftermath of the digestion. Yeah. Sounds bad.
Chew on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just let it sit.
You know what is normally the aftermath of digestion.
Okay, and that's what we sound like. That's what we're trying to sound like.
That's what we're going.
Yeah, one day we're gonna find the brown note, and we're gonna
Stop.
everyone's gonna know.
It's gonna be a patch on my keyboard.
Yeah.
I'll press it to end the song.
Oh my god.
It's crazy that you said the names that you said, because I honestly would have assumed, like, from seeing your show, like, I definitely felt Simple Plan. I definitely felt like elements of like some of those like punk pop faves that I like that made all my playlists.
Yeah, that's the type of, like, for me, like, that's where it really lives. Like, that's the type of stuff that I listened to, like, growing up all through middle school, high school, like that. So I mean, yeah, Simple Plan, huge. All Time Low, huge. Jimmy Eat World, really big. Although, like, growing up, I only ever listened to Bleed American, and like I'm only now like really going into like some of their other stuff. It's actually because like within the past week, like I don't know how many people have said, "Oh, you guys sound like Jimmy Eat World." So okay, I should really dive into some of their other
You
stuff.
should know what
I'm
they're
not just-
talking about.
You know,
Is that an insult?
yeah, the middle, dude.
There's energy too. Like, this is like such a big thing. Like, it's not just about like being like getting up on stage and just singing the song. Like, I mean, I couldn't take my eyes off of you guys the entire time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's
I
one
mean,
of-
you guys definitely use the whole stage. Like, with me, definitely with taking pictures. I like can't stand when people are like all the way on opposite sides of the stage and they don't even come near each other because I can't get the
It's
pictures.
something I wish I could do
You
more.
guys were like all over. I got awesome pictures. Like, you guys were
you get great
jumping
pictures.
and,
Thank you
like,
for those pictures.
oh, it was fun taking your picture. I mean, it's some of the moves with the guitar. Oh my god,
I know. When
I was having a blast.
concert photos.
I'm still like one of my goals, and I'm just scared to do it. I want to learn how to like throw it over my shoulder. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
I'm
locking. You
learn-
got
I
the
have
locking
lots.
set.
I have lots. I feel like still something's gonna happen.
Learn with somebody else's guitar.
Yeah,
Shoot
learn
that.
someone else's guitar. Grab a Guitar Hero one. But yeah, so it's a
Yes,
lot of that early, like, you know, early pop punk stuff.
Can you tape that when you like are feeling like really confident?
Yes, 100%.
Take one.
Yeah,
Because I feel like whether you would like make it and it would look really like nice and like legit, you could post that video or you could post the fail, and like either way, it's a win.
there's really no in between. There's kind of two extremes on that one. It's like, yeah, I'm scared. I don't know. But
It's like learning how to ski jump. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not good at it in the beginning, you're just not gonna do it.
I'm
You're
just seeing
flying.
visions of that beautiful Gibson you have, the headstock,
just
just
snapping.
snapping
The PRS
off.
is
Yeah,
just
the-
in
yeah.
pieces. Oh.
I'll do a spin with the keys.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The interesting thing
It's
about
just called an accordion.
yeah, just
like or a
accordion.
guitar.
I've thought about it.
so it's a lot of that early like pop punk stuff, and then sort of like I think and it just so happens that the two singles that are out right now are living very much in that more like nostalgic earlier pop punk like
Oh, we're gonna be getting
area.
to that.
Yeah. But a lot of the influence for most of the stuff, it's like they're all in alternate tunings and stuff like that. So it's very much like what's happening in the current like emo scene, right?
Okay.
So it's taking a little bit from like you know the Midwest stuff. So I mean, yeah, I mean, let's think here: Mom Jeans, you know, Modern Baseball. Like,
there's a lot of Smith's influence with Johnny Marr's playing as well. With some
Yeah.
of the jangle stuff.
a lot of that, like, you know, twinkly type of stuff there. Hot Mulligan repping the shirt, huge fan right now. They're massive influence. Real Friends is right up there with Hot Mulligan. They're doing great. You know, Wonder Years too. Yeah. So a lot of that stuff. So I feel like our sound is really like, let's take this, let's, you know, put it together and let's wrap it in a little like commercial bow is where we're trying to get is. Yeah.
What's the next single we're doing? Are we doing Death of Me?
I think Nobody Gets Hurt.
Nobody
And
gets
Nobody
hurt.
Gets
I
Hurt.
think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
So
All
next
my
single, alternate tunings, we're gonna get there. You know?
Yeah.
Dang alternates.
Okay, before we get into what single you're going to be releasing, can we please talk about Varsity T-shirt? Because oh my goodness, I was just saying earlier, you can't like listen to that song and not have it like stirring in your head for like 2 hours. And it's okay. I'm totally
Sorry.
It's wonderful.
She's
What?
so I love it.
Yeah, what was behind that?
That one, okay, here's a story.
It was prophetic.
It was prophetic.
Oh,
It was
fun.
prophetic. Yeah, you ever pre-write a breakup song? You ever accidentally write a breakup song?
What
while
do
you're
you
writing?
mean? Like you see it? Was it the idea? Like, could you see something coming?
Not
Or
even. No, not
like
even. So
you did it,
It's
like
the
by
same-
writing it.
it's the same type of thing where it's like, oh, R.I.P. George Cooper it sounds like a cool song title. It's I'd given my girlfriend at the time a shirt. It happened to
Okay.
be a varsity. It had like the seniors on the
T-shirt,
back.
t-shirt,
Yeah,
what do you say?
yeah, varsity t-shirt.
T-shirt
Um,
of sorts.
Yeah, and then I was just thinking about it, and I literally had like multiple. I was talking to her. I was like, that'd be like a really good song title for like a 2000s esque like breakup song. Like, yeah, it would be. Huh. And then I wrote it.
Oh,
I sent it to her too. She's like, this is great. This is exactly what it is. And then the funny thing is actually the day that I put it into distribution, that's when it all just went. So it was kind of a pre-wrote that one, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
It's all about the
But
music.
it
That's
sounds
awesome.
So,
So I have to ask, since all of my guy friends complain about how like their girlfriends through the years or their wife or whatever steal their t-shirts, how many t-shirts have you guys lost to relationships?
Well, that t-shirt's gone. That one's gone forever. The one.
One.
I've
Yeah.
given girls like t-shirts or like sweaters that there was like a girl I was seeing in Boston for a couple of months and then COVID broke out and we were like seeing each other for probably like 3 or 4 months. We were like hanging out like every day and it was great. And then it was just like, okay, this is the end of the world here. Like take this.
One's your t-shirt.
And now I'm in a 5-year relationship and she's in like a 5-year relationship and we just like haven't spoken since. It was like the most like beautiful like separation of all. It wasn't even like a spoken thing. It was just like
See you at the end of
texting
the
and then
world.
it just like we just
Yeah.
stopped talking to each other. It's just like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Cool. Phenomenal.
thanks for the shirt.
Yeah.
I
It's a cool jacket too. I think about that sometimes. Yeah.
I lost a sweatshirt, I think. No, you know what I did lose? I had a Step Brothers Prestige Worldwide t-shirt. Yeah, it said
Love
Boats
it.
and Hose on it, and it had Will Ferrell's face on it, and I lost that one.
anymore?
No.
And that's crazy because you probably can't find it on the internet.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should have. Boats and Hose t-shirt didn't have the same ring as Varsity t-shirt, unfortunately.
Yeah, you'll see it for like $400 at a punk rock flea market.
Yeah. I lost one shirt, but I got it back, so I didn't lose it. So, but it took forever. It was like a girl I was seeing last October or something, and
I'm
then
thinking about every single shirt that I've stolen.
Yeah, I've stole so many. I was about to say that too.
she was like,
Like-
she was like, I need a shirt. I was like, oh, here's a shirt. And then she stopped talking to me. I was like, well, I kind of want my shirt back. And then after countless times of texting her, hey, can I get my shirt? Yeah, we'll meet up this weekend and get it. And then it just never happened. It was the last week of my last semester of school there. She got
I
it.
feel like Jesse and I need to like go through our closets and actually like admit and count how many t-shirts.
I
we
literally
stole.
have been sitting here thinking like to myself and laughing like I can't. You're like 1, 2, and I'm on the other side of that, and I'm like, okay, so it's one for. I'm like, I know why it's 1 or 2. It's one from this guy. I definitely took 2 from that guy.
You should do like a charity raffle for those
I
t-shirts.
could.
And raise money and then people would buy them. And then if the guys come out and be like, hey, no, that's my shirt, they just look like jerks because they're taking
They're
stealing
stealing
money
it.
from charity.
I know. I'm afraid of posting pictures in some shirts because I'm afraid people are gonna ask for them back. So I
Oh, I'm
don't.
so happy that I'm not the only one that has that issue.
Yeah.
Because they do. Every now and then you'll get like give a message that's like, let me get that back. And it's like, this isn't if it's been in my custody for more than X amount of I've had this thing for longer than you have at this point.
Okay, Jesse.
I don't know if I agree.
Now
with
you have
that.
to
I
tell
think, if they had initial ownership, I think that they can reach out.
They
You don't have to give it back. They have every right to.
It's like
How
a
many
little-
of those t-shirts have you cut up?
It's squatters' rights for shirts, is what you're proposing right now.
Mhm.
How many have you cut up, Jesse?
I haven't cut any of them up, just in the just in case that they somehow finagle it back for me.
I'm not even gonna lie. I cut it up and make it like for me so that they can't do that.
That's really smart.
Make it into a
That's
dress.
really smart. That's diabolical. I just got this one. This is a bolt thrower shirt. If you know anything about metal, that's very expensive. I was like, oh hell yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm cooking. My guy friends are like,
Yeah, mine.
They're
Block.
like,
Get the shirt. Block.
yeah, they're like, my friends are like, well, now you gotta marry him.
Now everybody knows if you try to date us, we're gonna steal your t-shirts and your
You
hoodies.
know,
It's
I'm like,
the
let
thing
me
that's-
get in that closet.
Hey, what kind of shirts you got? Yeah, let me go shopping. The interesting thing is, it's like, yeah, I think we've gotten a lot of feedback on Varsity T-shirt. It really seems like it's resonating with a lot of people, and I think it's because, yeah, like everybody has either lost a shirt or is currently holding on to a shirt, from somebody else. And the whole premise really behind the song is, it's like, things end, and half the time it's like, this shirt is now the only remnant of you in my life. And that's really like what the song is about, right? So it's like, I'm sure you can just list off, like, if you're, oh, that shirt is this guy and he did this and that. And like, now we just
I
exist
have
in your life
shirts
as
that
this
are-
shirt.
that is a very relatable thing, because I literally have shirts. I'm like, I have no pictures of you. I have deleted everything, but I still have that t-shirt, from like 10, 15 years ago. So
Now, have you done the TikTok yet of you singing it to your ex that has your t-shirt?
No. I feel like we can get
You want to get a blind reaction?
blind reaction. Yeah, no. Because she's heard the song like multiple times already. Actually, the funny thing is too, like, I know exactly who is, like, you can look on Spotify for artists, and I'm like, oh, couple streams in San Diego. I know who that is. There you go.
wow.
So
So you're like,
yeah,
I know you've heard it. That's good.
doxed.
So do you look at your playlist, like the titles of the playlists that you're on?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yes.
actually, so we're actually, yeah,
We're about to make a little.
we're gonna do a thing.
about that.
People don't realize we can see the freaky shit that you're putting us on.
Yup.
Like, we can see all of that. We can see the picture. We can see the name of it. Like, we can see how many times we played it. Weird playlists.
So keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Keep 'em
Yeah,
coming.
honestly, keep
We
them coming.
encourage it.
We might feature you.
Any
Yeah, we're gonna-
standout names of playlists?
Names of playlists. What are good ones that are coming to mind right now? I have like, one of them was male manipulator music. I thought that was a good one.
That's good.
It feels pretty. Yeah, that's pretty much, I guess.
Yeah, they're. I want to save it. I want to save them though.
We'll see.
I
We're
wanna
gonna
say-
do a little thing on our
Because the ones that come to mind are the really good ones that are. Yeah, they're. You'll see.
One of them was a picture of someone's feet. It was just a
One of them
picture
was
of
a picture
feet.
of people's
It was just a picture of feet, like on the playlist cover. So I don't know who
I don't know
that is
whose feet
or
they were.
why.
Sorry.
Yeah. But we're gonna start doing a thing on like our social medias where it's like, either send us your playlists, we'll feature them, like what you're putting us on. Because it's funny, just make a funny thing, put a funny picture, we'll feature you, and also just feature the ones we've already gotten. Because like there's some things.
Some weird people.
Yeah.
In other words,
One of them was
anybody that puts them
Yeah.
on a playlist, if you give it the playlist a really good name, look, you'll get featured on their social
Yes.
media.
Male
Yeah.
manipulator music is pretty funny.
Yeah. I can see how it fits on there too.
Yeah.
It's like, look what you did to me. I'm so sad.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good. They cooked with that one.
they did.
Social media has been pretty fun as of late, though, just because we've been really on a grind of just trying to pump out as much content as possible.
Now, do you guys kind of split up the responsibility and each pick like one to kind of focus on, or is it a free for all?
Yeah, so the good thing about like the social media is that we should be probably doing some more. Honestly, I just added YouTube Shorts, but like Instagram and Facebook, like they're linked, so you can just basically have one person for that. Aiden runs the TikTok. I've been doing the Instagram and the Facebook. That covers most things. There's no really need for threads because people like you're not going to listen with audio on threads. What else is? I mean, I guess X, but like X feels like it doesn't really.
We don't have anything important to say.
It's gonna become different.
Yeah, it gets different over there.
All of our tweets are written.
Dude, I'm gonna do a video in my ex's t-shirt.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm
We
making a TikTok. I'm either doing it tomorrow or Wednesday.
do it. Use the song. That'd be a great thing too. Honestly, like
Really helpful.
That's a good idea.
that would be a good thing too. Yeah. just
Jesse, we could do transitions with the different t-shirts.
yeah.
That'd be fun. That
Show
would
us
be
all the
really fun, actually.
Yeah, let's start a trend.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Anyone that
You
wants
can-
to be
That would
part
be a
of the
really good
t-shirt
trend.
transition.
I know
It's
every
easy,
girl
too.
has like those shirts, a pile
a
of
really
them.
good idea.
So
I
that would
wonder
be
how
like
many girls we could get to like do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Tag
sure-
the guy in your no.
Yeah.
no.
You're never getting it back. It's mine.
Anakin's gonna do the same trend, but he's just gonna go everywhere shirtless for a day because his shirt's gone.
Actually, the funny thing is, I feel like I actually and have shirts that I have like somebody has bought for me. I feel like it's different. I have 2 of those, so that outnumbers the number that I've lost. I think so. My ratio is actually good.
Game.
Yeah.
Positive.
And honestly, it's like part of me sometimes thinks like I should probably get rid of these, but like one of them has a picture of like a fish on it, and
Oh,
it's
that's
like
hard.
it's like hard as hell. So
Yeah,
I
that's hard.
cannot part with it.
Yeah.
No matter, yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many fun things you could do with that. You could even do merch shirts that say "You're never getting this T-shirt."
Oh. Yeah. There you go. That's the idea.
My ex's shirt.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Oh
Honestly,
my
too. Yeah.
God.
Just as like a
Love
thing, the
it.
transition.
About that, what is your favorite shirt that you've stolen?
Man, I got some good ones. One I actually
would-
gave back, and I wish I didn't. It was a super, super sick. It was. Why am I not thinking of it? I'm saying Imperial Triumphant, but it was definitely not Imperial Triumphant. It was Skull Secret. What is
I'm definitely gonna go with this
Eternal
like
Champion. I love
the
Eternal
Smith
Champion.
and Wesson shirt that I had got from my ex, and not for the fact that it's like guns related, but like it's just badass. It's got like the guns coming down like
Yeah.
right around the collar. It just makes a really nice dress. Yeah, I made it into a dress. Fucker.
That's the best thing. Just turn into a cutoff or something like that.
And if it's bad, if it ends badly, I'm like, the shirt's mine forever. Some Bathory stuff. I love, like, I was like, Bathory goes hard, so I was like, that's sick. Anything sentimental that you can't get back. Oh, anything sentimental they can't get back because I'm like, you're my little sentimental prisoner. So one was like a hoodie. One was like a hoodie that his sister got him for Christmas, and he had a really bad Christmas that year, and it was like a hoodie he really wanted. So,
I feel more like powerful when I get a hoodie.
I
because
like it
hoodies
when
are
it,
so expensive.
yeah.
I feel weird
And then
sex
the
cancel
other
culture
one,
like
here's
it's
my
called
number
it.
one.
Yeah.
His like first real job, he got himself a pair of Ray-Bans, and he had them, and they're unscratched. And he
You're
wore them all-
savage. You don't just go after the T-shirt. You go after the ring.
No, he gave me the sunglasses. He said, "I want you to have these."
Just give my T-shirt back.
He said, "I want you to have the Ray-Bans." I said, "Are you sure? You've had these your entire life, working life. You've had these for 15 years, 15, 16 years." do you want me to have these? And I was like, he's like, yes, yes, yes. I was like, you're never getting them back. You're never. I was like, this is a contract. This is a pact with the devil. You're never getting Ray-Bans back, dude.
You're gonna get a text from him about those glasses.
I did. I have.
Have you?
I have. And he'd be like, can I get my fucking sunglasses back? And I'm like,
We have the
I'll
contract.
mail them.
That's what you do. Just send like some passive aggressives. Oh, awfully bright outside today, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. He's
This is
still
basically
he's like, at this point, he's like, I'll get him back one day. I'll get him back one day. I'm like, I'm like, I love them Ray-Bans, man. They look good on me. So I'm like, I'm giving them. I have a good home. I keep them. Like, I respect them. I'm like, I know that somebody else loves these, so I'm gonna respect them. So, like, it's not like if he ever saw them again, they wouldn't be fucked up because I can't afford Ray-Bans myself. So I'm like treating them real nice over here. But I would say the Ray-Bans because I'm like, this was good. This is a good little present.
With the Ray-Bans, I have a pair of like official Ray-Bans. I literally like get fake ones just so I can wear them because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up the.
I wear my fake Ray-Bans because I don't want to wear my actual ones also. Because I drop sunglasses too much. That's why the Ray-Bans, my little prisoner Ray-Bans, are in good condition.
So now that we've talked about the song that is released, can we talk about your song that you are about to release?
About is a big word. It's about to be released as soon as we finish arranging it and then also record it and then also get it mixed and mastered. So eventually on the horizon, distant, big things coming, guys. No, yeah, but the next single, I think we'll do that one probably. Well, hopefully it'll be on maybe early fall, end of summer.
Are we tracking that here?
Oh, we should.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Not this room.
Not this one specifically. Yeah.
We're at this really cool venue right now called Prototype 237 in Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And just doxed us. There we go.
Yeah.
Come say hi, guys. And yeah, it's great. A lot of incredible artists live here, and they run this multi-art space. So there's like film screenings and live concerts and open jams. There's an open jam going on right now that started 46 seconds ago.
If you hear any rogue
Or actually
trumpets, that's about it.
ago.
Oh, that's so fun.
And they got like poetry workshops, and they do like live theater sometimes, which is like really fun. And so I've moved some of my audio equipment over there, and we're going to be tracking in-house. Had a drum recording session this morning.
Super talented
producer, this guy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Super talented.
Thank you.
We're gonna so about the next song is definitely, I think it's the first, it's gonna be in that alternate tuning. It's the first one that's gonna sound, like I was saying, less of the like this is nostalgic 2004, much more of the modern sound. It's in that alternate tuning. Fast, faster. It really moves. I think it's pretty catchy.
Back to the faster tempo.
Yeah.
High energy.
It's probably my favorite to play live.
Yeah.
Easily.
I think it's probably, in terms of like vocally too, it's the most high energy thing. It's definitely more shouty and that like, modern, I guess, sort of emo shouty thing. Not quite screaming, but like right on the cusp, of
Now,
that.
guys, have you guys ventured to play it live?
Oh yeah,
We did.
Yeah.
We played it at Artie's actually.
Oh,
I
you
think
did play it at Artie's.
Third to last song. There.
Okay, I'll go back in my live.
Yeah, it's the one that starts with a couple bars of just drums.
Okay.
I can take a peek at that. I think it's easily the most fun song to play live too, just because where it sits in the set feels really great because the energy comes up instantly. People move in the same way that R.I.P. George Cooper was written for like push pits. This one is written for people to like two-step to. Perfect tempo for that. So it really just energy is lifted instantly. We're really excited for that. It's called "And Nobody Gets Hurt," and yeah. Funny thing about that too is I mentioned before that everything starts on acoustic guitar. So a couple of our friends swear by the acoustic demo that I put together for it. I
Just
like
release both.
we'll do both. We will. Yeah, we should do
both.
both. Yeah. We'll do it up a little bit, put some strings and stuff. And it's interesting because it's one of those songs like that
Works on both.
it works on
ways.
both, but it sort of takes on like you know how like you listen to Take on Me and you listen to Take on Me and it's like, oh yeah, it's a fun song. And then you hear like a slowed down version of it and you're like, wow, this is devastating actually.
We got a cat.
There's
You're
a
chewing on
cat that
cable.
I don't know who it belongs to, and it's trying to eat our
Its name is Lasagna.
lasagna.
Yeah.
Lasagna the cat.
That's kind of
Don't
awesome.
Is that like a
I actually
Garfield
had
pun?
lasagna for lunch today. Fun
I love lasagna.
Not that lasagna, but
Is it a Garfield pun or is that like
The
Oh,
baby.
it's a calico.
And stream.
and straight? Yeah.
no, he just
Oh my god, he's just totally chilling. Kitty.
The cat will be featured on the next single.
I love that.
Yeah.
Lasagna. Dude, that would be great.
gonna eat the chess piece.
Oh.
Don't eat that.
Yeah, the cat. Look, the cat's got star power.
All right.
Goodbye, lasagna. Goodbye.
So, do you guys have shows that you want to throw out there coming up? Because our audience is all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of we did that little run through May where we had a bunch of stuff. Then we had Bryant is away. We just got back. John's going away. We got some traveling to do right now. So our first show back, we're going to be playing out near Sparta, New Jersey. It's a place called River of Beer, which is a great name for a venue. I'm imagining like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory levels of like just a whole river of beer. That's July 19th. Then we have some fun things up near Nyack, New York. We're playing Andromeda Fest on July 26th. That's a lot more of like a metalcore thing. I think there's a couple of other bands that are more in like the pop punk emo stuff. It's mainly metalcore. Miles, who actually got us a show at Artie's with Uncured, he's been a really huge supporter. And really, he's connected us with so many great people. So
He's been awesome.
he's
Love
yeah.
it.
Anytime,
He's got jealous of the cat.
thank you, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Anytime he reaches out about a show, we're 100% doing it because he's really just been a great friend of the band so far.
Since the beginning, early.
Yeah.
Like he was. Yeah.
Yeah, really just nice to have someone like that in the corner. August 9th, and we're playing Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck. Very excited for that one. Debonair's been on my list personally for a long time to play because it feels like there's not too many there's not a ton of like venues really in North Jersey that are like that aren't just bars and stuff like that or like not tiny little places. Debonair has always stuck out because you get people there all the time that are like massive. I think Red Jumpsuit played there like a couple months ago. Yeah, so I'm excited to get there. That's really it. Like we have a light-ish summer. Moving into fall, we're in the works right now with a couple other bands. I'm hearing the music downstairs and it's interesting. I'm like, it's like thirst trap music is playing like through the floorboards.
We were just talking about that earlier. Jesse and I were saying how like all of our friends right now are like posting thirst trap videos.
Literally all our friends are posting thirst traps right now. And I'm like, it's not even nice out. I can't even take a nice summer thirst trap.
Is that what we should start doing? With that?
Apparently that's what we were doing. I
Is
guess
that what
we had one Instagram reel do really well and the comments are like
That was not a
Are you all in front of the
It wasn't
like,
it
with your shirts off?
That reel was crazy.
We're gonna be getting down to in the fall. We're putting some stuff together. We're trying to do like a pop punk versus metalcore show down near Philly. Haven't been out to Philly yet. I hear it's a great scene. Like super excited to start doing
Philly's
some more
the
personal
best.
stuff. Yeah.
Where are you? Do you have a spot in Philly that you're like have your eye on?
Not exactly yet. We're kind of just like talking with a couple of other bands. We haven't reached out to a venue yet. So it's still in the works.
Necktie, Milk Boy.
Yeah, you have the hookup. You give us the hookup. We'll talk about because you listed off when we had spoken the first time when we first
It's in my
met.
notes.
Yeah,
It's in my notes
like
app.
you gave us
So many names.
everyone. It was
Oh,
great.
I love you guys. I literally I've been talking about you since I saw you guys. So definitely
Thanks.
give you all the list of all our friends' venues and just send out emails.
Yeah, no, Philly's gonna be fun too. At some point, I want to do Asbury, get out that way. We haven't done that yet.
Someone actually just reached out from Glassboro area. They own a record store, and they want us to come play. Do some
Which-
stuff there.
That'd be
which-
fun.
It's called, like,
wall to wall or something like that. I think. Yeah, it's down
I
near.
think it's a new spot.
There's some cool music stores.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but we might do like a tiny desk or something down
Yeah,
there.
that'd
Would be really cool.
Yeah.
If like I don't know what I want to do because it's like we're kind of rounding out like year one of the band, and I'm like, I don't know, my expectations for what like the first year would look like have been completely like exceeded, yeah, entirely. So I'm super excited for like year two. You know, I want to do more like weekender stuff. I think.
Now, are you guys looking to do festivals?
definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely some Jersey stuff there, some PA stuff, 100%. We have a couple of good contacts now too that are kind of like host their own and stuff too. So we're gonna definitely be looking at that.
I feel like you guys should definitely submit to the different festivals because I feel like you guys have a sound that people would really connect
Yeah.
with.
I hope so. I hope they will.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a goal. I think it's a pretty attainable goal for
You never know what your goals are going to end up. I mean, our goal for the end of the summer was just to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, and then in one day, one of our reels just absolutely blew up, and then we
thanks
absolutely smashed
algorithm.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you, algorithm.
yeah, thanks algorithm.
I think we
That was insane, though.
kind of lock in on recording. And get
Isn't that nice though? Isn't it like really great when you like post something and you have no idea that it's about to take off and then like you look back at it like a little while later and it's like, oh shit, like they like me.
Yeah, no, it's like what Evan said is we definitely need to like
Yeah, we just need to lock in dates for recording.
Yeah.
Start.
I
spending
think-
more time in studio.
yeah, if anything, a goal for the end of year two, whenever you want to round that out, is like, and I don't know what works better now for algorithmically, what streaming services want. Like, what they want is just a stream of singles, but like, I feel like kind of some of the art is like, I don't know,
Lost.
we're gonna get a lot more music out. That's gonna be the main focus. Is
Yeah, the sky's the limit in terms of how you want to market it and release it. I mean, you can do vinyl exclusive or CD exclusive or cassette exclusive, or you post everything on streaming as well, or you do like Bandcamp exclusive stuff. I think we're doing a good job of playing enough shows in between releases, though, where the momentum's still going, and it's not just fizzling out or we're getting comfortable. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, like we're still doing these things and we're still after it, and it's not just like settling or like being content with what's been happening. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
there's always more.
We just want to keep.
Well, I'd love to get you to Philly and back down in this area because you guys were great.
fun.
So, since we're rounding out on time, I want to ask you, to someone that has never heard your music before, what is the song that you would tell them to listen to first?
If they're trying to gauge what we are, or if they're trying to just, I don't know, what we think.
What song would you tell them to listen to first out of your discography?
What do we got? 2 songs.
we got
now
2
on
out.
streaming?
We have
Yeah.
2.
Do we have any live performance things on social media of like concerts with like the stems?
Not with the stems because we have one. I think we haven't done anything with it because the guy that was supposed to do the stems recorded everything, like clipping.
I would. Okay. Here's what I would say.
So we
Cool.
don't have the stems.
We could put it out clipped version.
Yeah, clipped version. I think
I would say probably R.I.P. George Cooper, because it is more of the. No, I'm not gonna say cookie cutter, but it falls into the genre we're trying to be in more of a direct way.
Okay.
I think if you listen to that first, you get a sense of who we are, what we are, and then Varsity T-shirt. It's a little bit slower. It's not a slow song by any means, but it's definitely more of a variation.
I think Varsity T-shirt is a better song
I agree.
personally. I think. I like them both. I think it's a better song. I think it's a little bit more commercial in the fact that I think it's a little bit more accessible because it's not so. Yeah.
So basically, what they're saying to our viewers is you got to listen to both. Listen to Varsity T-shirt and listen to R.I.P. George Cooper.
Yeah, it depends on what you want. I mean, what do you think? I don't know.
No, my take is usually listen to the thing that you're going to listen to. If you're trying to read, it doesn't matter if you're like, oh, well, I'm not reading, the dictionary. I'm not being smart. I'm reading a weird murder drama where the enemies fall in love. It's like, no, read the books that you're going to read because that will get you into reading. So if you want the slower paced, kind of like nostalgia driven ballad, listen to Varsity T-shirt. You want the high energy, listen to R.I.P. George Cooper. Listen to what you will listen to, and
and then keep listening to them, and then keep listening.
If you don't like either of those genres, hit us up for bootleg recordings.
Yes. Yeah.
Stick around, then more will come.
Yeah.
Tangerine. What was it? Tangerine monkey cake.
Tangerine monkey cake coming soon.
Coming soon.
So I wish you guys so much luck, and this is definitely not the last time that we will see you. And honestly, you guys are great, and we will make sure that you get everything on Wednesday when this airs. Thank you so much for hopping on with us.
Yeah,
of course. Ellie, thank you. Yeah,
this was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, we'll have you back.
This is a great opportunity. Thank you for having me.
100%. Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
They were awesome.
Oh, they were so fun. I love bands that are very dynamic. I was not expecting them to list half of the names that they listed for influences. But now that they have, I totally feel those vibes.
I know. I was really surprised. I was like, it kept getting good. The more and more it went, I was like, damn, we got everything in here.
So I got to hear all about just everything that you've been doing, because I just recently, and I'll just put this out there to everybody in the online world. I thought that Jessie, when she told me that you do the grind core or whatever, I thought that you were just making noises and growling.
No.
You're singing.
There's all different. I think that people don't, we were talking about micro niches and micro genres and stuff like that, and I think that people don't. I think that people from an outside perspective look at metal a lot of the time and they're just that's just noise. And there are some bands that are just noise, but and our sounds and stuff like that. Some of my favorite bands have songs without lyrics, but the noises they make are insanely complex. There's some grind bands that do their sets like that. There's some grind bands you can understand every single word that they're saying. And that goes for different genres of metals too. They're different vocal styles across the board. Just because you're in a genre, just because you're in a certain kind of genre doesn't mean that there isn't sound, there isn't lyrics to it. I know there's plenty of Mint songs I know with lyrics to it. And so I am I'm somebody who does have lyrics to their songs, and we have songs.
Well, before, when you were describing it, you're like grindcore, you were kind of, you're well, some of it sounds like throwing up and this, that. So honestly, I was kind of imagining orgasm sounds and throwing up.
Some of it does sound like that, but it does sound like it does have lyrics behind it. I think it's a genre that if you don't listen to, it's hard to conceptualize exactly what it is. I was talking to my friend earlier about the difference between like mince and gore grind, and he listens to all of this stuff. So I was like, he was like, mince is where I was like, mince sounds like a guy struggling on a toilet versus where gore grind a lot of the time just sounds like the toilet. And he's like, yeah, exactly. But there's all different kinds of vocal styles in like punk, hardcore, black metal, black and thrash. There's like you have like your Celtic frost, like ugh. Like you have like all different things, and then you have people with like very distinct vocal styles. Like you're never gonna hear like somebody who's like when you hear an obituary song start, that's obituary. So
I
there's so many
mean,
different
but more and more people, like, I feel like when we first started, it wasn't like the names of the influencer, like, it was kind of like broad names. Like, we've been hearing a lot of heavier, like, bands and
for the
names lately.
influences for some people's bands that they're picking.
Yeah, like, even, like, people that I wouldn't even think that they had, like, a metal, like,
Mhm.
background, they do.
I think that, I can definitely see that. I was really surprised that that guy saying Periphery was one of his, influences, but I can understand that. I think Periphery is also a band. Like, I know a lot of adults that like Periphery, but I know a lot Periphery was really popular when I was in high school and stuff like that, and, like, Pelican and, like, those kind of bands between The Buried and Me, and they have, like, a real appeal. I loved Colors and Colors too between The Buried and Me and, like the technicality, the intricate time signatures and stuff like that. When you have like the chord progression, like stuff like that, when you have music that is that interesting and that um hard to play, I think it's really appealing to people who are learning to play instruments like that, because you see these people that are, like, amazing, and then you wanna get into that like, you wanna be as technical as them, and when you are starting to play an instrument and stuff like that, when you play an instrument, when you're in a band, when you see how the sausage is made, like, when you're in a band, it changes your perspective on what you see on stage. So you go from being like, "Is this good? Is this bad? Do I vibe with this?" to "What are they doing? How many microphones do they have? What pedals do they have? What pedals are they using?"
That's actually something I wanted to bring up with you. I was
Mhm.
told that you use 2 microphones.
I used 2 microphones last night. I don't usually use 2 microphones, and, if you know anything about, like, grind, a lot of people use 2 microphones. My sister bands or my charcuterie use 2 microphones. A lot of gore grinds use 2 microphones. A lot of my friends use 2 microphones. I wanted to keep it to 1. Last night they asked how many microphones we wanted. We said 2. We said fuck it. And I wanted to start doing power violence vocals. So part of me wanting to do power violence vocals, with I'm not gonna be able to. I either have to pick pitch shifted. I have to pick clean, do them clean, like, or I have to have 2 microphones because I'm the only vocalist in the band. So, um, so I have to have 2 microphones anyway if we want to do PV vocals, regardless. So, we were just like, let's try it out tonight, and we did 2
Now,
mics.
do you have to rest your voice for a certain amount of time before a show?
No, because they say it's bad luck to practice the day of the show. I always do and I practice too much before a show, so I always push it. I always push it. So the fact that I didn't have to practice before a show yesterday was crazy, like, because that's what we usually do. So I was like, all right, whatever. But you're up there for a while.
Yeah, we've had so many crazy things going on. So I just want to talk about the road to Warped Tour for a minute
Yeah, please.
because, oh my God, it was such a magical experience. First of all, so many great bands. And I just want to say 408, everybody knows I love you. So shout out to you guys. And one of the other bands that really stood out for me, they were all like really incredible. I mean, Josh and his team like killed it with like the pickings. But another band that really stood out to me that I'm gonna start harassing to come on the show. No, I'm just kidding. Is Every Avenue. Man, they were so good. Now
What do
they
you feel
played
like?
inside. Um, yeah, a lot of the bands I hadn't really been familiar with before seeing them there, and by the end, I was a fan. I mean, like, I was like keeping notes in my phone of all the different bands, like as they came up, so that like, because I saw so many. I mean, they had like three separate stages going. They shut down a whole like section on Wyoming, and then they had food trucks, Ferris wheel, wrestling. I mean, it was just nonstop. Let me tell you about this gyro. I had like the gyro was like this big, first of all, and very hard to eat. And I like looked
I love a
a
gyro.
mess. Like it was all over my face, but like it was so good I didn't even care. It was
I
like
love
zero
that.
fucks given. But it was nice because I loved it. More people need to do this for the outside venues. They had like a little wash station because I
That's
know all my friends are
amazing.
like crazy about washing their hands. And it was really nice because they had like a wash station like outside the bathrooms that was like near like where like the food trucks and everything were parked, like that you could go and like wash up after eating like the best gyro that just left a mess all over your face.
Mhm.
I have pictures of me like
Oh,
sitting in the rain, like holding
I
up this
love the white
gigantic.
sauce. That fucking tzatziki sauce is so good. I'm amazed that they had a wash station so you could just like completely wash all that off. I'm happy that all the bands sounded good. Like that's sick.
Everybody was entertained the whole time. And you know what? It was exactly what like the Warp Tour was. It was a place where you heard all types of music. You knew some of them, you didn't know some of them, you discovered new bands, and everybody was just there for the love of music and the
Yeah.
love of the scene. And that's what it was yesterday. I mean, everybody was so nice. I mean, like, I know like every time I went like into the girls' bathroom or like anywhere that was like smaller area, like I mean, people were just having conversations, everybody was nice. They were like just everybody was just happy to be there. I mean, even when it was pouring, I'm telling you, like it didn't stop anybody.
That's amazing. I
It was
love
really
that.
awesome. Um, as far as coming up, and I'll just throw this out there, if you're from New Jersey, Philly, the surrounding area, Savannah, Dexter will be over at Artie's this Saturday. And there's only 2 spots left for VIP meet and greet. So if you're trying to get on her meet and greet, like, gotta get that now. And there's limited GA tickets left. So definitely make sure you get on that right away. Artie's in Frenchtown, New Jersey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun. She's pretty fun. She's big on TikTok. She does like the best transitions though. Like I'm actually like I can't wait to see what she does as far as like a show.
Okay. What are you anticipating?
You never know. You know what? You never know with people that just kind of like do whatever they want and they do like some of her stuff is very like just purebred, and other things it's like I'm gonna like pop my butt out and give you the middle finger. So I mean, like, I don't really know what to expect, but I'm excited. I can't wait.
I am really excited for you. I just like am like imagining so many people packed in there. And the way you told me the venue's laid out, it's gonna be like very, very
I think they're
safe.
moving it outside. If as long
I
as
was
the
like,
weather,
yeah.
like is okay. Um,
Mhm.
I think they're gonna move it outside and they'll probably do like meet and greet inside, which that's like usually the easiest way to do it, especially that I mean, that's insane. Like to think that like her meet and greet, like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, but
So
it should be fun. And I mean, I love anything over at Artie's. I mean, seriously, I could go
you
over
are
there.
Artie's biggest fan. You are Artie's biggest fan. I am so like happy for them that they have you on your team. They should really make you the full-time promoter there because I was like, you have people up in there.
Tom's Tom's listening, shaking his head right now.
I know.
Now, I'm like, you know what? Like, I will never be a promoter ever again, but I will be a hype girl. Like,
I know. I
evermore,
was good girl.
like, if I like your music, I will be your hype girl forever.
Hmm.
But so do you have anything exciting coming up or
I'm playing on tomorrow. I'm playing on tomorrow. I have like a work meeting in the morning, so I need to do some work for that when I get off of this. But I'm playing tomorrow, and I gotta go to the music store tomorrow beforehand and stuff like that. But that's what we got going on for that.
yeah, oh, and I also wanted to say, I got to see Magnolia Park and From Ashes to New.
Hmm.
Man, both of those bands just to say kill it wasn't even it, destroyed it. I mean,
Awesome.
absolute fire the entire show. I mean, honestly, if you listen to my live when Magnolia Park started singing Misfit, I am literally singing so loud, Jesse, that you can't even hear them.
That's
I lost
crazy.
control. I lost control.
That's amazing though, and that's good they have a fan like you.
Like, I'm about to lose it.
I
But,
love
yeah,
that.
I tried really hard for, Saturday not to, like, oversing the bands. So, yeah, 408, be very proud of me because the last
Um,
time that I did a live of you guys, you couldn't really hear you either.
that's so funny.
And
Well,
Power to Them, they played, Warped Tour in DC today, and from
if
the videos
Allie
and from the pictures, killed it.
takes a video and you could only hear her, it is the highest of compliments for your band. That means your chef's kiss. So,
Well, my singing's not that great, but it's the love that matters. It's the heart that goes
exactly.
into it. Like, I have to feel, like, really passionate about it to, like, let people hear my vocals like that.
Yeah.
But, well, I love you, and I'm so
I love
happy to
you
be
too.
back in the mix. We can never go that long again.
I
I was
know.
getting
Let's not do
depressed. I
that
was getting
anymore.
depressed without you. Like, I was
I
about to start just calling you up, just having chats, like,
know. We'll try not to do that again. And thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks to our producer for tolerating us. We put too much work on you.
"Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Next week."
Okay. Bye.